So Aiko, just to leave off, maybe you want to talk a little bit about, just to share with the group a little bit about what it's like working together with me, seeing me in a mastermind. You've heard me talk and
Yes,
live and stuff,
yes.
just to give people some perspective on this.
Yes. Okay. So yes, full disclosure. Yes, Daniel and I were in a mastermind group. And this is not that I was hosting. I was genuinely in it, as in, talking about my problem, full on participating, right? So here's this guy who comes in, right? Daniel, completely unpretentious. People start having some questions about, I mean, let's be honest, like most businesses have some issues with sale at one point or another, right? Like if you don't have issue with sales, it's just that you're not there yet. Like these things happen, okay? So yeah, so we're kind of going around the room, like having, talking about different challenges that we're having. And for every single one of us, like Daniel, you just came in with killer advice. And for me, it's actually so rare to see this, people that have really tactical hands-on advice, right? I hear a lot of fluff, especially in sales, or I hear things that don't necessarily match people's personality, as in like, no, you need to keep on pushing. And your approach is actually to be like, no, but wait a second, like think about the person to whom you're selling, right? Think about like, what's the impact of, them getting this email or getting this follow-up from you. And so like the way you actually bring up recommendations and suggestions have been always very different based on everyone's situation.
Yeah.
And has been like, and I don't know, I just see like people riveted on their seats when you do come up with feedback, because it's the type of advice that I think we look for, like, online and everything. And you're actually able to give a person, based on their client, based on their personality and all of this, a recommendation for sales that was always like incredibly well tailored, right?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, and this is not me sugarcoating it. Like I'm dead honest here. Like you were fantastic, and I like the thing that I wish I could see you do more of is just these like on the spot advice to people, because I think you absolutely like nail it every time. And yeah, and I mean our group has done significantly better because of you, right? Like let's be honest here. Like I think you have shaped most people's like perspective on sale in our group thanks to your advice. And now I'm seeing how everyone is doing so well, and it's fantastic. So like a big thank you to you.
Well,
and yes, personally, like I also hopped on a call with you because all right, let's talk about this. So I had sent Daniel like a little short email being like, hey Daniel, I'm thinking of, sending this to potential clients. What are your thoughts? Just quick feedback. Yes. And you were just kind enough to send me an email back and be like, Aiko, let's hop on a call together.
Yeah.
So all right, I'm kind of like laughing out of my embarrassment right here. But yes, in this email that, I thought was all nice and clear, what I was doing was to just pitch like prospective, clients on selling them something. And you were like, but Aiko, wouldn't it make sense to like build a relationship with them, right? And I think somehow
take them to dinner first,
exactly.
Buy a bottle of wine, a little courting before going to bed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the analogy that I kept on like having. It's okay, don't ask people. Yeah, I'm going to be crude here, but yes, like don't ask people to have sex with you on like the first time you shake their hands, right? Like
exactly.
This just does not work.
No.
So I actually really appreciated that you broke it down for me in many steps. And you were just telling me like, yes, like back then we were talking about a website that was launching, and you were just telling me like, no, but just initially inform them that the website is there and that, your name is appearing here. And then that's it, right? If you get a response from them, great, follow up with, XYZ. And if you don't, well then, keep on informing them when there are things for them. But ultimately selling is more like giving a service to them, right? And I've heard this a lot, but I think you are the first one that actually kind of drove drove the point through for me and really made me understand how much of a difference this can make. And it's to say that, yes, I'm not saying that, selling is a service because of, to make me feel better about selling. It's that like genuine selling and good selling, I think should be like this, right? It's to say, I have something to offer. If you're interested and if this creates value for you, let me know, right? I'm here. And I'm not trying to push onto, to push you onto something that you're not interested. And that was the first thing that was like really eye-opening for me. The second thing that you did, which was kind of the big aha moment, was that yes, you told me, okay, so, you know, like once you have this process and you know, like how many emails you're going to send and you know, the type of email that you're going to send in what order, make sure you call them. And I was like, okay, we don't do calling. Like it's a website that I have and I'm talking to other people that, you know, are also online, like we don't call. But yes, ultimately I was doing B2B calls, B2B sales. And what you were telling me is that, no, like these people have an office somewhere and they have a phone number. And if you are able to call them, then instead of just your email being another email in their inbox that they just don't care of because they see from Aiko and they're like, who the heck is Aiko? Like instead, it actually becomes the email of the person who just left them a voicemail, right? Because yes, my biggest argument to calling was, but Daniel, no one will pick up the phone. And you were like, I know, but that's the thing, right? Just have a script ready so that when they don't pick up the phone, you actually, like you're actually able to just leave them a message and be like, hey, you know, like Aiko just calling, blah, blah, talking about this. You know, sorry, I missed you. Let me send you a quick email to follow up, right? And then this email in their inbox becomes something meaningful for them. And they're like, oh, it's this voice that I heard. And even if we never talk, I'm a bit more human to them. And that makes a heck of a difference.
And here I'm going to interject with a piece. If you've made it this far in the video, here's a value add for you, okay? Most people don't realize, because they haven't worked in corporate, if you are doing B2B sales to other corporations, voicemails these days are emails, because what happens is the voicemail gets either transcribed in some cases, and the audio file is then attached to an email which is sent to people, because most organizations have gone to VoIP systems and they actually plug a headset into a computer. So essentially, when you do send them a voicemail, you're sending them an email.
Yeah.
It becomes the new way of email. And if you live in Canada, you can't actually just solicit emails directly. And so by sending them a voicemail, you've sent them an email. Hello, good morning. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. This is exactly what I mean, is that Daniel just comes in and boom. Yes, exactly. So no, thank you. Because I think you offer so much value and you've offered me so much value. So I am incredibly, insanely excited for what you're building, and you are my sales superhero by far.
Oh, thank you, Aiko. Yeah. Well, okay, listen, thank you so much for your time tonight and that wonderful little testimonial. That was very nice. It makes me feel so wonderful. Yeah. And and yeah, thanks so much for taking that time out and sharing some of your genius. And again, guys, let's look. I want to look for those accountability notes. I want to be able to hold you accountable for something you'd like to do with either in the program, something you've been wanting to tackle, and just see how accountability can help you within your business. So thanks again for joining us. Aiko, thanks again, and take care.
My pleasure. Thank you.